I guess a lot of cultures have sliced deli meat sandwiches, but the Italians really do it right. My Italian friends always lament the difference between the real old school Italian delis and what passes for a deli in other places. I think the difference is that we have delis in Atlanta because we have to eat lunch, but to Italians, the deli is almost a culture. Delis like these were on every corner in New York and Naples. Fruits out front and hanging meats all throughout. This one is Manganero's. It's probably the oldest deli in New York City. It's been there since 1893. My mother grew up just 2 blocks from here on 9th Avenue. You can see how old the floor is. This one is Central Grocery in New Orleans. It's been there forever also. This one is in Naples. You can see all the meats hanging, the panettone bread wrapped in blue, which is a real Christmas treat. All of our sandwiches are baked on our homemade sourdough bread, which we make from extra pizza dough. We slightly undercook the bread the first time, and then when we make the sandwich, we cut it open and bake it again just to crisp it up. The first sandwich is the Italian deli. Like all the sandwiches, the bread on the Italian deli is served slightly heated, but unlike the others, the toppings are all served cold. The meats are both the coppa and the hot soppressata. The cheese is cut from the wheel of Fontal. Then it's topped with a mix of sun-dried tomatoes, basil, whole parsley leaves, dried oregano, oil, and red wine vinegar. This is not the balsamic vinegar, which is too sweet for this combo. It's regular red wine vinegar. The sandwich itself is very simple, but it's all super fresh, highly flavored ingredients. It's great to do a side-by-side with this sandwich versus what they call an Italian deli in other places. For example, our bread is real sourdough and it's baked that day. Instead of lettuce, which is kind of just filler that you see on a lot of these sandwiches, we're using basil and parsley. Instead of tomatoes, we're using sun-dried tomatoes. Everything is packed with flavor. The sandwich is very addictive. Next is the Capri Z sandwich. The Capri Z starts with the Kalamata olive tapenade. Then we add slices of tomato, fresh basil leaves, and fior di latte, which is the fresh cow's milk mozzarella. We bake it just a little bit just to melt the cheese. Then it's finished with a fruity olive oil and sea salt. It's just a great flavor combination. It's really a great vegetarian sandwich also. The next one is the hot soppressata sandwich. This one starts with Kalamata olives and tomatoes also, but then we change it up. We add creamy gorgonzola cheese. The cheese melts down and forms kind of a tangy sauce with the olive paste. We bake the whole thing. We bake the hot soppressata with the bread so it gets hot and just a tiny bit crispy. And finally, the whole thing is finished with arugula, a little olive oil, and salt. Lastly, we have the San Gennaro sausage and pepper hero. Every little Italian neighborhood in America has got an annual festival in September for San Gennaro. I'm not sure of the origins, but it's really an annual cultural food fest. The sausage and pepper heroes are definitely one of the stars. Vendors are lined up with grills going non-stop for days. The festival, I think, lasts 8 days. We make a very good version here, as good as you can get anywhere. The key is to grill it so that there's a good mix of textures. Some of the onions are almost black, others are hardly cooked. We spice it up with paprika and several peppers. It's just really just a great sandwich, great mouthfeel, great flavors. All of our sandwiches are served with a side of spinach or Caesar salad and chips.
Quando stasera aspetterò che papà a dormire se ne va.